Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of an NFL podcast video. Today, I'm here with Frank and Nando, the originals. All right, guys, how about we get started today? So, we unfortunately were not able to create a podcast video last week for you guys discussing the conference matchups. So, what we're going to do for you guys right now is we are going to give you guys a recap of what happens in the conference round. So let's start off with the Eagles and the 49ers, guys. Game, it's so forgettable for what happened to the 49ers. I mean, of course, Brock Purdy went down. I honestly think it would have been a little bit closer, but I don't think it would have changed the Eagles winning this game. I had the Eagles just because their defensive line, I mean, Brock Purdy's faced nothing like it this year, so you know, it was just rough. They hurt Warner, Bosa, and Purdy in the same game.
Yeah.
It
was a crazy game, and I feel really bad for 49ers fans who had to witness that.
Yeah.
You know, after Josh Johnson, and Purdy going in, even seeing McCaffrey throw a play, which was to the other side of the field, there was no receiver near him. I definitely feel bad for Kyle Shanahan as well, because that team is really deserving. They have all the pieces.
Yeah.
And they just lost their defense coordinator, as we might discuss. D'Amico Ryans went to the Texans, but
yeah, and that could change a lot, you know.
They had the pieces, and now they're just getting a year older, and we'll have to see what happens next year with the 49ers.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean they've gone through 3 different quarterbacks this season, and they lost all of them. Who knows how Trey Lance would have done? I mean, Brock Purdy did amazing with the weapons he had. Trey Lance could have done even better, but. I mean, it sucks to see Purdy go down.
Yeah, because they've really been through it all with that QB situation.
I know, there was a good story going on there. If Purdy was in, the thing is, they would have had the ball more, obviously. So you never know if, the Eagles would have scored less, obviously. The Niners would have more momentum, but, I mean, it just sucks, because, I wanted it to be a good game.
Yeah, I think we all wanted it to, yeah.
And the 49ers were the first team to make the conference finals starting their third quarterback in NFL history, so...
Yeah.
I mean, it just shows you all the talent they had on the offensive and defense side. You don't know which one was better, honestly, because they're both tremendous. But
and I just still thought that the defense for the 49ers was going to put up a little bit more of a fight against Jalen Hurts.
I mean, it wasn't really their entire fault because, they had the fumble and then they had the interception. But, I mean, they only held him to less than 200 yards, I believe, I want to say, passing. So, I mean, it wasn't like a offensive juggernaut. And then if they challenge that Devontae Smith call...
Yeah, but it still would have made it 24-7. I mean, we can't say...
Well, yes, it would still change the scoring, but it would be 49ers ball near the 50-yard line, 0-0 instead of 7-0 Eagles, and then Purdy, all that stuff that happened.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, I don't know what's going to happen with Purdy. He's out right now. I don't know how bad the injury is, but
hopefully it's not terrible for him.
Yeah, and he played his tail off, really.
I heard it's 6 months recovery. Surgery.
Is it the elbow injury, like the baseball one?
Yeah. And
UCL or something.
Mm-hmm.
But
not like Josh Allen's.
Yeah, it's similar, but it's not the same injury.
His son Reddick had a game too. He had a great game.
Yeah,
forced fumbles, I think. 2
sacks. He's a force to be reckoned with, man. A man who finished with 17 sacks this season. I mean, you got to give it to the guy.
Yeah,
just breaking through, no matter who it was. I mean, it's just ridiculous.
Yeah, and just like the Eagles adding all those other pieces, AJ Brown didn't have a big impact, but he was still there making plays. They added Ndamukong Suh, Vindal Joseph, Bradbury.
Yeah.
I think he might even be a Pro Bowler.
Yeah.
He's been tremendous for them as well. The Eagles, I might have said this before, but the team, they have 17 either Pro Bowlers or first-team alternates that got selected. Good. And there's only 18 people. There's only 11 and 11, so that's 21. So 21 out of those 17 were all-star caliber for the Eagles.
Wow. That's crazy.
It's just crazy to think about.
I'm not surprised, to be honest.
Yeah, they were just good this year. Just plain and simple.
Yeah, and it's sort of been a better game, but you know what? We just got to move on.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So we will move on right now, actually. Let's get to the Bengals and the Chiefs. This game ruins my perfect bracket. I took the Bengals. They lost. And, both teams, this was a really good game for an AFC championship. And, the Chiefs, they played hard, especially at the end of the game when they really needed it, with that kick return of 25 yards or the punt return of 25 yards. That got them pretty much in field goal range because we all know Butker can hit from far. So, to win that game for the Chiefs, and that's exactly what they did. And they just took advantage of so many and too many mistakes that the Bengals made in this game. They made a lot of mistakes, which costed them.
Yeah, and really, when I was looking at the game, I felt like the Chiefs were in control for most of it. The first half, you see Mahomes going down the field, losing Juju, losing Tooney, having a hurt Travis Kelce, and other players. Hardman got hurt, I think, also. But they were in control, and then it was 14-7. They were driving, and Mahomes had a fumble. So that's when the Bengals really gave them life back into the game. But Burrow just couldn't get it done. He was overthrowing passes, and he had the 2 interceptions that cost him.
I know people are gonna keep saying like Bengals versus the refs, or obviously the refs were a big factor in that game.
Yeah.
But I mean, Mahomes was on like one leg almost. Like they know he couldn't like move. The Chiefs team was getting hurt. Like you could say like the refs like helped them a lot, obviously, but still like that Chiefs team was like banged up. So like Bengals just made like costly mistakes. I'd say that's the only reason they lost. They had that game.
I'm sure all the controversies about that roughing the passer call too, and the non, if it was intentional grounding by Burrow or the other potential roughing passers on Burrow.
Yeah, the penalties just really killed the Bengals in this one too,
And you could argue that some of those other calls should have been penalties, but it all depends on what the ref's viewpoint is on the plays.
Even after the game, I saw the NFL said like they know they have an officiating problem.
Yeah,
so that they said something about that. Like they know they need to work something out, but you could do.
That was the day after. You guys don't. I mean, you don't watch NBA, but that was the day after LeBron didn't get that call against Celtics too. Like the officiating's been rough this year, and I mean, there's some questionable calls, but I mean, the roughing the passer was obviously the clear call. Joseph Asai, I think his name was. He had a great game. Besides that roughing the passer, it's hard to stop running when you're going full speed at a quarterback, and it's just the rule. If he's out of bounds, you hit him. That's a flag.
Yeah. All right, guys, so we are going to get to our next topic for you, and that is going to be the New York Jets and Aaron Rodgers. Some controversy over there. Will Rodgers end up going to the Jets? I mean, Nathaniel Hackett, was that a sign?
I think it was. We can have Nando talk more about it in a little bit.
Yeah.
But, I mean, it shows, I think, that the Jets are desperate, because if you look at it, the GM has been there a couple of years. And the coach, what's his name again?
Saleh?
Yeah, Robert Saleh.
Yeah.
They've been there 3 years, so they need a win now. And if you look at their roster, Mike White's serviceable. Zach Wilson is still really an unproven commodity. You don't know what you get out of him every week.
He's horrible.
So they need a quarterback that can take them to the playoffs and compete.
Yeah.
So that's why I think they went with Hackett. They threw everything in that basket. Him and Rodgers are big buddies, and I think they have a good chance of getting him.
Yeah, so do I.
I know Joe Douglas said, or I saw a thing that the Jets are willing to throw a big package at the Packers. I know they're going to probably give him like a first-round pick this year, like a second next year or something like that for him. But, I mean, obviously, I don't think Rodgers would mind playing there. He knows we have a good defense. He knows there's like a
They just need a quarterback who can throw the ball downfield.
That's all we need. The thing I'm worried about, say if the Jets do trade for Rodgers, he's gonna play like 1 year probably and then want to retire again. And then the Jets are in poverty again. That's just how it works.
The other thing is the cap hit on him. I think he's making $50 million, so their roster flexibility is, but
yeah. I think the Jets will have enough, especially after some players are going to leave the season. But I assume that they can get it done somehow.
You could argue that this is the time now because they don't have to pay Sauce, they don't have to pay Garrett Wilson, they don't have to pay Breece Hall.
Yeah.
So it's this is the time where they can actually have him for a couple of years before they have to pay those rookie contracts.
And all of our players are coming back too. Becton, Vera Tucker, for the O-line. So it's like everything's set right now.
Yeah, everybody's coming back at the right time. The Jets could be really good next season. Just watch out. They could be that sleeper team.
And also, Aaron Rodgers said he wasn't going to the 49ers today, I think. So, I mean, that leaves Packers, Jets, any other team, really. But I have the question for Rodgers is, would he want to play with young receivers?
Yeah.
Because you see in Green Bay, he has struggled playing with, the likes of Alan Lazard and
Watson.
Christian Watson,
and Mario Dobbs.
Christian Watson didn't have a terrible season.
No, he picked it up in the second. He had drop catches and he didn't run his routes right.
They picked it up. I'm not sure if Rodgers is going to be committed to that group. Garrett Wilson and all those other receivers. Elijah Moore.
The Hackett is the reason he'll come, to be honest. Just because at that, because he has to know about that signing, obviously. So.
Yeah. I'm sure they talk probably daily, about it, and they are really good friends.
They might be doing everything to get Rodgers to come over there.
Yeah.
Try to compete with Buffalo next season.
Yeah.
Man, how about Buffalo though? Just for a quick second, I mean, let's touch on how they just got destroyed in the divisional round. Is Buffalo going to be a team every year that just loses in the divisional?
It definitely leaves the AFC East open because, obviously the first two teams are the Chiefs, Bengals, whichever way you really want to put it, depending on the day they play.
Yeah.
But it leaves the door open for the third best team in the AFC East because we don't know Lamar's situation. We don't know the Chargers situation. We know Jacksonville's going to improve, but by how much?
Yeah.
So, I mean, really, you don't... And the Bills have to pay some people this year. And, you don't know if they're going to lose some offensive linemen or defensive players,
Yeah.
I think the Ravens are planning on franchise tagging him, by the way. I think so.
I think so, too, but that's going to give them a lot of money. And I don't know if they have the cap flexibility. They might have to get rid of some players as well.
Yeah, they might.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
which would be even worse, though,
Yeah, at the roster they have. I mean, their defense is pretty solid, but the offense,
Real quick, don't the Eagles have a top 10 pick this year, too?
I believe so, yeah.
Saints pick.
Yeah, they're not. That's not fair.
The Eagles aren't falling down anytime soon, folks. I think they're going to be a repeat champion for the first time in the NFC East since 2004.
Maybe.
They could definitely do it.
And getting back to that Rodgers piece, if he goes there, you think they can make the playoffs with him?
Yes.
And compete?
Yeah. They made it with two quarterbacks. They had Mike White and Zach Wilson. And the thing is, the Jets were 7-3 in the beginning of the year. Yeah. And that's most of that is to Breece Hall. Zach Wilson, only played good because of him.
Yeah.
Sorry. The run game was scary. The receivers got open more because of Breece Hall.
Breece will be back. Breece Hall attack will be back on the field pretty soon.
And they continue to improve. And also, on the Packers viewpoint, don't you want to get those picks and see what you have in Jordan Love? Because, Rodgers is only going to play probably another year or two, maybe 3 at most. But if you get those picks, you can finally invest in your future and see what you have in Jordan Love, which he didn't look too bad.
I know Devontae wants Rodgers to come back to Raiders. I saw something about that. He was like, where's he going? Where did he say? He said my town or something like that. He was like,
that could be a sleeper. Yeah, I don't know how.
Imagine though, Aaron Rodgers to the Raiders.
Oh, I know they have to pay Josh Jacobs too, so I don't know if they let Josh Jacobs go and they trade for Rodgers.
There's no way they do that. He just had a career year.
Yeah,
didn't
he lead?
Yeah, I don't think they can afford both of them though, unless everyone takes a pay cut.
I don't think you're giving up Jacobs.
No,
not after the year he just had.
I know Jacobs is amazing, but what would you rather have? A great quarterback, or a great running back?
You can still get Jimmy G or something like that. For the Raiders. It's not Rodgers.
Just think of what Jimmy G's not a terrible quarterback at the end of the day.
Yeah,
I mean, if he does end up going over to Vegas,
compared to Mahomes and Herbert, he's still third best at most, and Russell Wilson if he ever improves.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, that could definitely be a sleeper team, but it's a slim possibility.
I think the Chiefs will just keep rolling that division for a little while.
They won it.
Maybe in the next few years, one of these teams like the Chargers or the Raiders could come up. I just don't. I think the Broncos are stuck at the bottom of that division.
If Mahomes is still there, I'm sorry. That team is just Mahomes is just a playmaker.
Yeah, he's so good.
Something to think about. Kellen Moore. I mean, he got
to the Chargers
next day.
Yeah,
to the Chargers, and he wasn't too bad.
That was the Cowboys coordinator.
Yeah, offensive.
And some stats I saw with Andy Dalton playing some games, Cooper Rush, and Dak, they were still they averaged 27 points per game, the third most in the league with Kellen Moore.
Yeah, I was happy with him leaving though, to be honest. Like I just think we need a change. I think Kellen Moore's play calling is just too basic for the Dallas Cowboys.
I think they needed a change also, but I think it should have been at another coaching position, if you know what I mean.
Fair.
Yeah.
Fair.
But I mean, I think it's gonna bite them.
How about Dan Quinn staying in Dallas though?
That's a big one.
Yeah,
That's a big one.
And the Cowboys really needed somebody like him. Somebody that wants to win a championship with the Cowboys.
Well, how do you want to talk?
Oh, where were you? No, you go.
I was gonna say, how do you think McCarthy will do calling the plays now? I mean, like, don't you think?
We'll see. They might have another offensive coordinator.
I would do that if I were them.
Yeah.
Speaking of defensive coordinators, though, the Dolphins got the biggest signing.
Oh,
I forgot about it too. What's his name?
Former Vic Fangio,
Yeah,
former native.
Yeah.
He's gonna be
huge.
big for them. Yeah. And he turned down. Sean Payton asked him to come to Denver back with him, and he turned that down for the Dolphins.
That would not have been fair, to be fair.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's gonna be, if not the highest defense coordinator, definitely up there, like top 2 or 3. And I think he's really gonna revolutionize the Dolphins defense because if we can ever get Byron Jones back, that'd be big. And also he can try to help. Bless you. He can try to help Xavier Howard get back to his Pro Bowl form.
Yeah.
And just all the other young players he can teach, like Bradley
Yeah,
Chubb.
Byron Jones, like he was scheduled to come back week 5?
Week 1, he was like
Week
4
1.
to 6 weeks, and then he just kept getting pushed back with the surgery and all that stuff.
Yeah. That sucks though.
Yeah.
That really sucks because think of how much different it could have been with the jump master.
Yeah, but it's good to hear that he's back with Bradley Chubb because the Dolphins already paid him, so he's locked in for the future. So
Yeah.
if he can get Bradley Chubb back to his performance with Denver,
Yeah.
that'd be really good for the Dolphins.
Yeah. So we are going to take a stroll over to the 49ers and their QB situation next year. Guys, who's it going to be? So you give 3 first-round picks to trade up in the drafts to get Trey Lance, correct?
Yeah, that's
Yep,
correct.
against the
Okay,
Dolphins.
so
Dolphins.
right, and then you're getting first-round pick talent out of a man you picked out of Mr. Irrelevant. Now Mr. Relevant, probably, but so what do you do if you're the 49ers? Like, you just spent all that money on Lance, but Purdy is just so good. He's proved himself.
I mean, I didn't watch Lance in college, but I know you don't just get drafted third, obviously.
reason,
But
yeah.
I want to see what he could do. I really
Yeah.
do, just because I know he's a third pick. But I mean, Purdy proved himself at the same time.
NFC
Obviously.
Championship appearance in his first year.
And the only reason he lost too is because he got hurt. You never know if he could have made some big plays. Obviously, he could have scored a lot. You never know.
Yeah,
obviously,
absolutely.
I think it's going to be open competition too, but the thing with Purdy is he might be out OTAs and some of preseason, so Trey Lance is obviously going to get those minutes starting at the first rings, and I think if Trey Lance can actually show, like I know he was all right for, what did he play, 2 games this year?
Yeah, he got hurt in week 2. So.
If they can really develop him, they can have, either they stick with him and trade Brock Purdy, or stick with Purdy and trade him. Either way, they'll be pretty good for the future.
To be honest, I'd like to see Brock Purdy stay in San Francisco because he knows the team now, and he'll come in the next season just firing that ball over the place, But Trey Lance, in my opinion, could be a starting quarterback. He is a starting quarterback, but I just think he needs to be a starting quarterback somewhere else.
Say if Houston calls them, or the Colts, or maybe even the Vikings if they want to move off Kirk Cousins and get someone. I think he definitely has a future in this league, Trey Lance.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is, let's not forget either. He obviously got tore his ACL, so they're both coming off an injury.
Yeah.
So, but
who's gonna recuperate? Is that the word for it?
Just
I think they're both gonna bounce
recuperate.
back.
The thing is, I say you let Trey Lance start and lead the team again. But as soon as he starts playing bad, you put Brock Purdy in. Like just have him be the backup now. Like there's no reason to trade one or the other. If one plays bad, one gets hurt again.
Here's the thing: they're on year 3 of Trey Lance.
Yeah. Well,
So they have to decide if they want to pick up the 5th-year option at the end of this year.
I wouldn't.
So
He's getting injury prone already.
I don't know how much money that'd be, but Brock Purdy's making what, maybe $1 million if like he's on a 7th round salary base, which is
How long does that contract go for? I don't think it's all 2 years.
Purdy's I believe is 4, but I could be wrong. Maybe it's 3, something like that. But it's still at least another 2 years of a team friendly deal. And even people thought Tom Brady before he retired. I don't know. I think Trey Lance is gonna go in there, and I think he actually is gonna take the job from Brock Purdy because he's more talented in my opinion.
Well, I don't know yet. You can't say that though, because Purdy just came out this whole almost a lot of this season. He just slung the ball all over.
But how do we know Trey Lance wouldn't have done that also?
It's true, but
Kittle likes Purdy a lot. I know that. So you got to think about what the players are going to say too. There's so much to
players. Yeah,
Lance does have another dynamic too. He can use his legs. He could be like a Lamar, Jalen Hurts prototype too.
If his legs are still the same.
If they're still,
obviously he's not going to be slowed down.
Yeah.
He might be a little slower.
If he regains his full strength, I think he could be a borderline Pro Bowler for them if he actually can stay healthy on the field.
Yeah.
And, complete his accuracy problems. I know he was struggling with accuracy, but if he gets a hold of that and develop him, I think he'll be better than Brock Purdy.
Yeah, we'll definitely have to wait and see, and that's something that over the next few months is definitely going to be something to talk about over this podcast.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Sure.
Do we want to talk about Brady now?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, let's, so Tom Brady is retiring from the NFL.
Finally.
Do we think it's real?
So when I first saw it, I thought it was an April Fool's joke or something like that. But April Fool's isn't until another 2 months, so I kind of realized it wasn't. But I just don't believe it at first. Maybe I'll get talked into it if he stays retired a couple more weeks.
Yeah.
It's the same coincidence. He retired last year, February 1st, 2022.
Yeah.
Then this year, February 1st, 2023.
Yeah, it doesn't seem, especially to lose to the Cowboys his last game.
I don't want that either, yeah.
The thing is, the team's going to be calling him like crazy, obviously, but it seems like he's satisfied. He has all the records and everything. He has nothing else to
he really doesn't have any. He loves to play. That's the thing.
Yeah.
He just loves the game,
Yeah, but he can still he still has that deal, obviously, to commentate in the booth.
Yeah.
But I don't see a reason why he would come back. He doesn't need to, I guess. Obviously he's still good. He retired at the top of his career. He had 4,700 yards.
Well, I know there was a report a couple of years ago that Gronk might want to come back from retirement too. So if they could find a team that wants Tom Brady and Gronk, I'm sure they would both opt in. Don't you guys think?
Oh yeah, probably.
One more year, but
if they wanted, that is.
I think,
give it more than 42. Give it 42 days. For Tom Brady, and then I'll say he's officially retired.
I think Brady he's always been a competitor, and I think if he wants
to
come back,
man.
nothing's going to stop him if he wants to come back.
Yeah, Tom Brady is the GOAT. He's the best quarterback of all time. He's proved it. Nobody's numbers have been better statistically. So
it's the end of an era.
Yeah, it really is. And it's sad,
Yeah.
Just gotta wait for Rodgers and
Rodgers.
I feel like there's somebody else.
Rodgers and Russ.
Matt Ryan.
That's who it is. And Flacco's in there too. Once they're gone, then it's new era.
Yeah, that's so unfortunate.
Yeah, but even what happens if it's preseason and Jalen Hurts out for the season, or Patrick Mahomes out for the season? You think Brady? Well, hey,
steps in.
Yeah, if they tear their ACL or Brady calls him.
I really think they'd be mad at him at the same time.
Yeah.
Because it's why would you keep playing? Why to keep lying?
He just wants to pad his stats a little bit more.
Hey,
he doesn't have to.
If Tom Brady and the Chiefs called me, I would take that offer.
Yeah.
Heartbeat.
Yeah, absolutely. Go for one more season. Because
Just like
I just don't believe
yeah.
Tom Brady's leaving yet. Like, just because I don't think he's losing to the Cowboys
I
in
could
his
see
last
him-
game.
I could see him doing it, but it's just like in that Instagram post he made, he was like, "For real this time." Like I don't. He seemed like serious. Like, oh,
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So maybe he is. Maybe this is the end of the greatest quarterback of all time for a long time.
Well, we'll still see him.
You think Patrick Mahomes will beat his
I
record?
think-
He's 27. Brady's 45,
Brady,
by the way.
Mahomes
And-
has already made 10. Has played 10 playoff wins. Brady only has, I think, 37.
Yeah, that
So
is
if
true.
Mahomes can keep it up, if all
I can't
injuries,
see the Chiefs not making this like playoffs every year.
Yeah, that
Mahomes
is true.
I mean, if he gets 3-4 year wins every year, he could catch up pretty quickly.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just think like as like in 5 years from now.
But the AFC is just going to keep getting better, though. That's the thing, you know. I feel like Jacksonville's going to get good a few years from now.
Yeah.
You know, like don't count these teams out.
We're not.
You can't think about like the Chiefs not getting more players.
The Chiefs
get like players.
Yeah, absolutely.
The Chiefs right now are, I think they're the second most team to play rookies this year. They have Pacheco. They have, I think they have 3 defensive nickelbacks. They have
Oh.
a couple receiver rookies.
Yeah, they're corners too. I forget their names. I know one was like a first round pick too. Even
Yeah,
I
they
forget his
have a
name.
linebacker. Like they have a lot of young people still to compete. And like Hardman's like a third year pro player. Juju's only like his 5th year. Like they still have a lot of young talent. The only guy I'd really consider to be old is Travis Kelce, which is still
But he's still,
great.
yeah,
He's still got more years in him.
Oh, yeah.
Like a
this can't be done yet.
Did you guys hear Travis Kelce is now second all time in playoff receiving yards?
Is he really?
yeah.
I think
Nobody.
he's it's either Jerry Rice
Yeah,
or
no, nobody's pitching Rice. Rice is so.
Rice.
Yeah, it's Rice.
I
Yeah.
think he's 700 yards off.
He has like
Yeah.
2,200 and some yards in the
Kelce
playoffs.
is 1,500, something like that, though.
I mean, he could beat it eventually with Kelsey. Like, 'cause if the Chiefs keep making the playoffs, yeah,
Yeah.
2 more years maybe.
Because also, I didn't know this, but Eckler was third. Or no, not Eckler. Julian Edelman.
Huh.
This guy was fourth. So I mean, Julian Edelman, we never really thought he'd be that good in the playoffs too, and he was
Yeah.
phenomenal. But I think if Kelsey plays 3 to 4 more years, he can get it.
I think he'll play a few
pending,
more
pending
years.
injuries, and decline. So I don't know how his body's gonna hold up.
I mean, yeah, tight ends get beat up. Like
They do.
Crazy.
Gronk would have it by now if he didn't get beat
Oh
up.
my God, yeah, Gronk
Yeah.
destroyed his career. To be fair, but he's still a beast, obviously.
If Gronk
Yeah.
had like 3-4 more years left in him, he would get it by now.
Yeah. All right, guys. So this is going to be our last topic of the day. We obviously didn't forget about it. This is it. Your finale of the NFL season. This is the Super Bowl. Philadelphia Eagles versus Kansas City Chiefs. Guys, this is due to be a wonderful game. I think we should count Patrick Mahomes out of this game.
No, you can.
The Philly, yeah, good, and they've beat some good teams in the playoffs. Unfortunately, the 49ers couldn't give them a better game, but man, this one, I think it's just going to go back and forth. I think this ends really close with Jalen Hurts and Patrick Mahomes, these 2 guys trying to get MVP. I mean, MVP will obviously be announced before, but both of these guys deserve it, and both of these teams deserve to be in the Super Bowl for the way they've played over the season, it's just, it's so much fun, and the Super Bowl's, not Super Bowl, the NFL season, it went so fast, so it's unfortunate now that we're going to have to wait till about August for the preseason at least.
Yeah, well, there'll be free agency, draft,
Right.
other stuff.
Yeah, there'll be so much to talk about over the next few months, guys, so don't worry. So we are going to give you guys our at final score. We haven't done this all season, and who wins the game. My final score, I'm going to take the Eagles 31-28. By a field goal, Jake Elliott wins it.
So we didn't discuss the game yet, but my early score, as of thinking about it right now, I think the Eagles are going to win also.
Yeah.
I can go over the factors later, but I think it's going to be low scoring. I'm going to say 27-23 Eagles.
Oh, all right.
I want to take the Chiefs so badly because I feel like they could just because of the experience.
Yeah,
really, that's it.
Okay.
No, I think their offense this whole year has been good. But it's not like Mahomes didn't have 5,500 yards.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take the Chiefs. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna say 35-21.
Oh,
I'm gonna say Eagles get some touchdowns, but I think the Chiefs' offense, they'll take it slow. They'll use Pacheco a lot from the outside, like screens and stuff.
Yeah.
And Andy Reid will come up. They have time to plan for the Eagles. I've seen them all playoffs. It's not like we know they're talented, but I think the Chiefs will plan well against them. They always do.
This is the 1 seed versus the 1 seed, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. How about that?
I think the Chiefs are gonna pull it out. I mean, the Eagles could easily win it. Everybody knows that. I'm gonna take the.
This Super Bowl is going to be that nail biter we've all been waiting for. Like these past few years. I hope it's something like the Patriots and the Eagles a few years ago.
Oh, that was great.
Yeah, that really came down to the wire. I'm hoping this game comes down to that last play, that last chuck up to the end zone, from Patrick Mahomes or even Jalen Hurts. I mean, we're not sure. I just think this game's just going to be a doozy,
Yeah. And I think this game's going to come up to the trenches, As we saw, Mahomes in his 2 other Super Bowls, against the 49ers, they were down, he rallied, came back. Against the Tampa game, he was pressured, rushed the entire time, barely even get a ball out. So I think it's going to be somewhere in the middle. I think the Eagles, they have the players, Hassan Reddick. They have
that defensive line.
How good can that
Chiefs offensive line block those guys? That's the best defensive front we've seen since ever.
Yeah, and the Eagles they have the most sacks in league history, I think.
No, they were close. Really close. They had 70. They were second.
Second, yeah.
The Bears in 1984 had 72 in one season.
They were 2 away.
I think it's going to come down to because I think we all know the Eagles are going to get pressure a lot, but we know Mahomes is good under pressure.
He can make the plays.
If the Chiefs get pressure on Hurts every now and then and force a 2nd and 15 or even a 2nd and 10, 3rd and 10, I think that'll be a game changer for them. Because if they don't get pressure on Hurts and give him time to read the field and he has all those weapons, I think they're in a lot of trouble then. But if the Chiefs just don't do that, I think.
And I think we also need to see what the receivers are going to. If they're going to play, like Juju, Hardman, those other guys, because if some of them don't play, then Mahomes is going to be throwing to 3rd strings and rookies besides Travis Kelce.
Yeah, I think they'll be healthy unless one has a big injury, which I don't think they have. I know Juju is running on the field.
Out there, I think. It's the big game,
Yeah, they're going to want to play, hopefully, too.
Yeah.
And even the quarterback play, both quarterbacks aren't fully healthy. When you saw Mahomes, a run... We'll get his scramble, it was more of a, I don't know how to describe it, but it wasn't a full-on run, he was still kind of limping. But, Hurts isn't, 100% healthy either, I don't think, because he'd be running more as well, because he has a lot of design runs.
Yeah.
Against the 49ers, he only had a couple. So, I mean, obviously 2 weeks to prep and to prepare is a lot, and I think it's definitely going to the wire.
Yeah, should be a good one.
Yeah, and we all know Mahomes, who he is, what he does, but I just think the Eagles will be prepared for it. And I know Andy Reid's revenge game and stuff like that, but I just think the Eagles, we talked about, they have one of the greatest rosters ever put to place, and they're ready to compete. And everyone can call out and say, you played Daniel Jones and Brock Purdy, but they beat them and beat them very convincingly. They beat them in 30-point blowouts.
Yeah. Yeah, these two teams, they really deserved it. That's all.
That's kind of crazy. They made it all the way 1 seed, and they played it technically against Josh Johnson and Daniel Jones too. But I mean, now it's here's the alternate. Yeah, I know. And
this game for the Eagles, I feel really says something.
Yeah.
Was
it a fluke?
Was this season just totally a fluke for Philly? Because of the cupcake schedule that they had, they had Daniel Jones and Josh Johnson, just like you guys said.
I don't think you make it to the Super Bowl and call it a fluke season. You can't.
That is true.
I think a fluke
season. They play some bad teams.
Who's the Chiefs play? They play in the playoffs. They played Burrow and who was the other team?
Burrow and
that's
I mean, Trevor Lawrence, they come in the game.
Yeah.
So
thing is, they've had hard games. So like Chiefs have
the Chiefs have had the harder, but even like any. Sorry, you want to talk?
I was just gonna say you could think like the Eagles are like overconfident right now because they just blew out 2 teams. Like, and obviously now it's the Chiefs. Not that they're gonna humble them, but it's gonna be much harder. Obviously.
Yeah, definitely.
If you look at it like that way, they blew out 2 teams. Like any NFC team like that. Say if Dallas made it or 49ers did it. What if they blew out these teams? Would people still call them a fluke too? Like would people?
Yeah, true.
Would like say if it happened in reverse? Would they say, oh? They're beating up on Daniel Jones. Like, well, I don't know. Maybe it's just the world doesn't like. Well, some people don't like the Eagles as much. I don't know.
Yeah. All right, guys. So that is going to finish our video for today. Before I officially end the video, you may be asking yourself, is this the end of our podcast series? Absolutely not. We are coming back with you guys. For a recap of the Super Bowl the week right after. So we will see you guys then. Put your picks for the Super Bowl in the comments for us. Hit the like button down below. Hit the subscribe button and share button for us.
Can I just say one more thing?
Absolutely.
So the MVP, who has won every year, has not won the Super Bowl. So both of these quarterbacks have a chance to get the MVP.
So that means the Eagles.
So that means whoever gets the MVP... The record shows they're most likely not gonna win the Super Bowl. So that might be a telling tale to see too. Saturday night. I think it's next week from now.
Yeah. All right, guys. Enjoy. Have a good one.